healthcare affect? Your spouse, parents, children, your loved ones. In an industry that impacts so many lives, individuals should not have to worry about avoidable errors. McKesson Canada has made significant strides in reducing these errors. Your solutions connect healthcare professionals to millions of patients every single day. You have ensured that patient safety is the top priority and that you have increased hospital operational efficiency. You save lives. You are now looking at growing your hospital automation solutions and in doing so achieve double-digit growth. We recommend that you do this by pushing your existing products into new markets, specifically bringing your drug dispensing automation technologies into British Columbia as well as Alberta, and then focusing on new opportunities in emerging technologies such as robot-assisted surgery. Execution of our recommendation will lead to you achieving double-digit growth by year-end 2016. Good afternoon, my name is Carmela, and these are my colleagues Natalie, Julia, and Kelly, and together we are Migliore Consulting.
You asked us one question, which was how to grow your hospital automation solutions further. And first, to do this, we looked at your biggest buyer, which is the government. So looking at the current situation with the government on the pressures towards their budget, we do see that they're looking for solutions that can, innovative solutions that can further address their persisting problems around the healthcare industry. So to do this, they do require products around operational efficiency as well as cost effectiveness. And as a result, they have released a 10-year plan in order to push this out to the government, especially revolving around this issue around reducing wait times. And as we can see, reduction of the wait time has been a focal issue, as it has been a persisting issue for the government since 2004, as it has increased the cost for both hospitals and the healthcare industry. Looking at factors that actually influence wait times, we do see that these factors, for them that we have identified, they're interconnected and they influence one another. First, starting with the lack of beds. Lack of beds are a result of the decreases in the government budget, and as a result, they increase wait times. Also, in terms of government, in terms of the pressures around government budgets, we do see that it also impacts personnel. Not only does it impact the cut of their salaries, but also what we see is that they're more pressured to be working longer hours as well as a larger workload. And as a result, this leads to human error. Human error happens in two parts. First, the medical delivery, whether it be dosage, usage, as well as the patients they're delivering it to. It also happens in surgery, where surgeons do face a lot of fatigue due to the increase of work hours. So we do see that there's pressures around when doing their surgeries, they do face tremors, which could ultimately lead to longer stays for patients, as it leads directly to a longer recovery time. Where we do see hospital automation systems playing a strong role in is in human error, in which McKesson has been a part of in terms of hospital pharmacy, as well now emerging is surgery.
So now that we understand where government is prioritizing spending in the next few years, let's take a closer look at where you identified your areas of growth. Oh, apologies. So there are four. The first is actually drug supply management. Not necessarily within your current sector, so much as it is developing new sectors, such as veterinary clinics. The next opportunity is actually with the customization of a product line for new healthcare sectors, such as long-term care facilities or dental clinics. The third opportunity is with non-drug-based supply management. And this is an opportunity that's currently focused on medical as well as clinical supplies, but we do see a new opportunity emerging within this. The last one is hospital pharmacy sector, which we do see that you are currently a leader in, and we do so continue to see opportunity. So let's take a closer look with regards to which ones of these actually are in alignment with the government priority of reducing patient wait time. There are two. The first is non-drug-based supply management. With regards to this, we do see that there is a new opportunity emerging, and we will be explaining this in more detail later on in our presentation. The second is actually still with your hospital pharmacy sector, and we will continue to discuss this as well. So, based on our analysis, we are recommending for McKesson Canada to really focus on initiatives which will not only be in alignment with government initiative of reducing patient wait time, but would also allow you to grow strategically in the future.
So currently, your hospital automation systems is doing very well in the Technology Solutions business unit. So we can see that as your current product is doing very well in Ontario and Quebec with penetration rate of 65%. Now, drug dispensing fee. Looking at population, Saskatchewan actually has a lower population at 1.1 million, and hence is a small, relatively small market, and we believe it's not a great market to enter into currently. Secondly, a number of hospitals, and Manitoba is sitting at 72, and hence is also a relatively small market. So we'll be looking into British Columbia and Alberta. With the third criteria, which is annual growth of dispensing drug fee, with this, the higher the growth, it means that hospitals actually have to pay more for drugs. Now, due to the budget pressures, hospitals are trying to look into other innovative solutions in order to cut the cost. And hence, this is where drug dispensing automation comes into play. So British Columbia and Alberta has the highest growth potential in the adoption of drug dispensing automation.
So to enter these two markets, we need to first identify the opportunities within BC. So where we do see a strong influencer in the healthcare industry within BC is with the Health Shared Services BC. We see that they act as the server connecting both the distributor as well as the health regions to innovative healthcare technology. And how they do this is that they look for innovations that actually serve operational efficiencies as well as cost effectiveness in order to promote to the health regions. And where we do see that they have strong influences within these 6 health regions within BC. Looking into Alberta, they do face an issue of outdated equipment, as most of the hospitals within Alberta are currently 20 to 40 years old. They're currently facing a lot of infrastructure and equipment being either outdated but hasn't been replaced yet nor updated. Next, this leads to their further demand for healthcare innovation as it is outdated, and where they do want to see the technology impact is in hospital pharmaceuticals as well as information systems. So they've been proactive with committing to healthcare innovation, as they have been promoting on their website of this health technology request form, allowing companies to actively pursue applying to the Alberta Health Services in order to promote their innovation and also technology, so that the Alberta Health Services can further evaluate what technologies to implement into their current hospitals. So as a result, we will be recommending to expand into British Columbia and Alberta by staying with your existing partner, which is JV Medi and also Ascent, in delivering the drug dispensing automation technologies throughout the health regions. So to do this, we must identify the BC health regions. And first, we do recommend that you partner with HSSBC. As mentioned, they are a strong influencer throughout the industry, and they will be able to help you create the awareness for your healthcare technology products. In addition to this, we also found an opportunity with Fraser Health. Fraser Health is currently looking to pilot automated systems within their Surrey Memorial Hospital, and we see this as a great opportunity for McKesson to be proactive and submit a proposal in order to pursue this opportunity. Upon success, this will be, all the technology will be rolled out within their remaining 12 hospitals. Some contract details we would like to highlight includes that this pilot project would be a variable cost basis. In terms of the pilot project, the number of equipment must be confirmed for the Surrey Memorial Hospital as well as the pilot duration, and also the number of hospitals to be rolled out within the next 3 years.
So looking into sourcing into Alberta, we do see that we can take advantage of this application that Alberta Health Services has pushed out. And McKesson can really use this to emphasize why they are the best distributor for the job. So upon succession, you will confirm contract details, and we are suggesting very similar terms to that of Fraser Health. You will then begin to distribute not only to Alberta, but also to BC. Now, because this is different logistics than what you are currently used to, we've also gone ahead and identified your best opportunity to use transportation to get your product from your current networks over to the western side of Canada. And we have identified that based on ease of transportation as well as cost effectiveness, freight is going to be your best option here. One specific detail to keep in mind when looking into this is that you will have to abide to the standards set out by Transport Canada.
So, as our initial analysis have shown, there are new and bigger opportunities within the hospital automation solutions in surgical areas of the hospital. Now, these hospital automation solutions is looking to address 3 common challenges. First, with larger incisions. With larger incisions, there's an actual higher chance of blood loss and also infections, and that can lead to a longer recovery time. Secondly, with human errors. Due to the budget pressure, personnel are having longer work shifts and leads to the lack of focus when they're having a surgery, and hand tremors. And this can actually lead to patients coming back for repeated visits due to errors in the surgery, and that can actually be taking up more beds in the hospital. Thirdly, with the insufficient amount of surgeons, that directly affects the long wait times, which leads to longer recovery time and weaker patients as they will now need to prolong their illnesses. So hence, all 3 challenges all lead to longer wait time, and this can be addressed by surgical robots. So what is surgical robots? Surgical robots are there to assist surgeons in having higher precision when in the operation room. Currently, this global market is worth $5 billion, and given the industry research, Canada is appropriate to 10% of this global market, and also is estimated to go alongside this global market, which is estimated to be $20 billion in market by the end of 2020. Now, looking at the benefits of these surgical robots, these 3 benefits align with the common challenges that they face. It gives smaller and precise incisions, reduce human errors, and also improve utilization of surgeons. So this not only leads to a shorter wait time, but also the awareness of these benefits from the hospitals are now leading to an increased rate of this adoption of the new technology.
Therefore, we are recommending that McKesson begin to distribute the surgical robots in the Canadian healthcare market. And you will do so through a 3-part recommendation. So the first part is to find your supplier. Secondly, you will bundle this product and create that value proposition, as we know this is something McKesson is good at doing. And lastly, begin to distribute. So we have identified a key supplier that McKesson could work with as Titan Medical Incorporated, and this is for a variety of alignment factors. So first and foremost, the values between the 2 companies are really correlated. So they're both focused on increasing patient safety as well as increasing operational efficiency within the hospitals. We also see that Titan is a highly innovative and high growth potential within the Canadian market. But what they are currently lacking is a distributor, and this is where McKesson can facilitate. Next, we see that there is proximity between the 2 firms. As Titan is currently manufacturing within Toronto, they can use this to facilitate value-added services to McKesson's end consumer, and in the way of maintenance as well as training around that. And lastly, we see that the technology that Titan is focused on is in neurology, oncology, as well as those less invasive surgeries. And these are really the areas that are facilitating the growth of the robotic surgical market. So we've gone ahead and drafted a couple of contract details for you to focus on. Three negotiable terms that we do see are surrounding unit price as well as maintenance and training costs. However, one thing we really are going to emphasize is that a non-negotiable term is that of contract exclusivity. And this is because this is currently a blue ocean for McKesson. And if you can remain exclusive to this contractor, you two can grow together and really facilitate and push it out into the Canadian healthcare market. After that, you will begin sourcing from this partner. So as we see, there are currently a few challenges in bringing the surgical robots to the Canadian market. But this is nothing that McKesson can't face. So one thing that we do see, a key concern of the hospitals, is that they believe there's not enough training around the surgical robots in order to bring it to their hospital areas. And McKesson also faced a similar issue when they brought their Robot RX. And the way they addressed this was by bundling the product with the training. And they can do something very similar here. Next, we've gone ahead and drafted a value proposition, and this is for you to bring to your hospitals when selling these robots to them. So we currently see that it revolves around three key issues, and these robots will facilitate and increase the value around this. So they will increase the operational efficiency as they do provide quicker surgeries, as well as the optimization of staff and surgeons. Next, we see that they increase patient safety, and of course that is due to the smaller incisions, as well as quicker recovery times, and of course the minimizing of costs.
So the last step before implementation is that of distribution. And we see that with this, we actually identified two categories of hospitals which would actually be interested in adopting robotic surgery technologies. So the first is teaching hospitals. So these hospitals are actually within academic institutions, and there's approximately 45 of them within Canada. These hospitals will actually give McKesson Canada an opportunity to really reach out to these healthcare professionals before they actually enter the job market. And with the second category, we identified them to be large hospitals. So we identified them to be hospitals with 500 beds or more. And we also provided a list of the potential hospitals under each category that McKesson Canada could reach out to with regards to the pitching of the product. So after successfully pitching the product, we will begin distribution immediately. So let's take a closer look at the implementation timeline. With regards to the first year and the drug dispensing expansion, we will begin working with the BC Health Regions as well as the Alberta Health Services within the first year. And we do see that there will be an increase in the number of successful projects completed over the next few years as consumer awareness of your brand as well as the products increase. So with regards to surgical robot penetration, the first half of the first year will really be for preparation and with the aim of actually beginning distribution beginning in the third quarter of the first year. We have also projected the revenue growth rate for the next 4 years. So we see that in the first year, moving from 2014 to 2015, it is not possible for McKesson Canada to actually reach that double-digit growth rate. This is because there is a little bit of a ramp-up time with regards to the implementation, as we do need to build that awareness as well as consumer education. However, by end of 2016, we will be able to reach that target. This is because from 2015, revenues of $60 million, we will be growing it to $67 million by the end of 2016, which equates to approximate growth rate of 13%.
When McKesson Canada came to us, they had one question at the top of their mind. How are we going to grow our hospital automation solutions and drive that double-digit growth? You can do so by facilitating the demand that is coming from Western Canada and specifically within British Columbia and Alberta. You can also grow by entering into new opportunities which are found in the surgical robotics technology. Execution of this will achieve your double-digit growth by year-end 2016, achieving revenue growth of 15% by 2018. McKesson has always been focused on their patient safety and improving operational efficiency of the hospitals. With our recommendation, you can continue achieving this and save more lives than ever before. Thank you.
Just regarding your financial slide at the end, would it be possible to see that broken up by initiative?
By initiative?
Yeah,
Of
for
course.
example, the robotics initiative and
If you could
penetration.
show us the calculation for So as you can see, approximately both the surgical robots as well as the drug dispensing initiative will be contributing around 50% of the incremental revenues for the next 4 years. It varies a little bit depending on the year and on the actual projects we see implementing.
Just to clarify, on the predicted organic, it's with all the existing partnerships and the current product solutions that
Yes,
are
currently it's taken from the, yep.
What do you think McKesson is not doing right now to penetrate the Alberta and BC markets, and what would you be doing that would be substantially different to that?
Yeah, so McKesson has typically developed their networks mostly in Ontario as well as Quebec, and it's been really easy to facilitate the growth there. But now what we're seeing is that the demand is really starting to come from Western Canada, and that's basically because of the increase in the drug dispensing fees. And so they're looking for a way to make it less expensive to dispense these drug things, which is typically where automation has played a part. And so now McKesson hasn't really looked over there yet because there wasn't really that demand. But now that that demand is amping up, they can really facilitate that.
So if I read this right, down the road, you see similar potential between the surgical robot space and the drug dispensing, added market that you've planned for. When I look at the revenue, it's pretty much 10 million per year down the road. What's the penetration on the surgical robot? What's your assumption on that?
Okay, so as of right now, we know the market is approximately $5 million within Canada, and by the end of 2015 at least, we'll be hitting probably, if it's 2 million that I see, we're hitting around 40%. This will of course continue to increase, and given that like the growth rate of Canada market might change over the years, we're unable to say the end of the 2018.
Okay.
I'm just wondering for the robotics initiative, is there enough incentive on that partner side to partner with McKesson? I would imagine the major benefit is our distribution network, but could they not potentially make their, how do you mitigate that risk of them developing their own direct relationship with the government?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, one thing that's really kind of hindering the adoption of these surgical robots is the fact that the hospitals don't believe there's enough training around this. And we know McKesson has facilitated the adoption of this in the past by bundling that, and it's something that they really do well, and so that's a key driver for Titan to partner with us. They can also really facilitate that growth and help them move further into the Canadian market because of our existing networks.
You love this robotic stuff, you can tell. What is Titan doing currently in terms of distribution, or are they in the market currently? I mean, you said they're manufacturing, but what's their level of penetration today?
So currently they don't have a strong distribution method across Canada, so we do see that they haven't actually approached hospital, whereas it could be more prominent within specialist clinics. However, in terms of innovation-wise, they are developing a lot of initiatives around even telesurgery, working with Bell in that terms of bringing more technology to more remote places in Canada.
Who's the big player right now? You said the market's about $5 million today. Do you know who the big players are?
In the Canadian market? Yeah, so there is a firm called Da Vinci that's in there right now. But the thing about Da Vinci is that they are very highly specialized, so they are only offering 2 surgical robots, and that's doing prostatectomies as well as hysterectomies, and that's actually not where the surgical robots are expected to grow in the coming years.
Have you evaluated the risk for McKesson to enter a space where we apply treatment directly to patients compared to the current offering, which is basically moving drugs and automating drugs? Is that part of the analysis in terms of risk of doing that business? Going into the surgical robot space?
So yes, the robots are actually assisted by the surgeons themselves. So definitely with the robots, they have been developed for many years now, so we haven't seen any issues around that. But ultimately, the surgeons do have the expertise on operating on the patient. So with them operating and with the proper training, there should be limited risk.
Very good. Thank you.
Does anybody else start?